Do you care about the magazine by the time?
Great question. It's a good question. Let me just think about it so I can answer it correctly. Now, as far as hip hop, since it was new and I was watching it.
Well, I'm asking because
I might have
it's a hip hop Bible.
I might have took it for granted because you got to understand this. Like I loved hip hop, right? But I loved my guys more, and I loved RSO more. So when you're a group, it's not like you're not really tuning into other motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? We listening to motherfuckers and shit, but as far as reading about them, so the concept of the book and everything, remember I told you the interview, it still hadn't hit me that is, I'm not saying that it's good, but that's going to be a part of hip hop. You know, I was so in the streets with it, with Block Party, like the street side of it's so hard, like, cause that's why I ride hard for the street side of hip hop. That's where it's from. But I wasn't really, I didn't grasp yet the concept of interviews, magazines, hip hop yet, right? But Dave and them were doing it. Jeff did. I noticed Jeff did, you know, because Jeff was excited about that. Jeff would read. I would barely read it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's also it's ill. I just kind of dawned on me that it's because the two different perspectives is you're looking at hip hop just as that and not like the interviews or any of that shit, because the interviews and all that shit is what's going to get it out to other people. Dave is not from the place.
Right.
So Dave is other people.
Right.
Dave's trying to put a microphone and a projector on it so he can show even like, yo, check the same way I was doing. Like, yo, you got to check this shit the fuck out because this shit's where it's at.
Right.
So that's why in his mind, he's like, we need interviews. We need projects. We need this. And you're like, why? Everyone's already right the fuck here.
Right. See, because and not, but also it's like, again, hip hop is with hip hop, it always was competitive. So you really didn't give a fuck about anybody else. Like, not that you hating, but if somebody else is getting an article about them, it's like, yeah, okay, cool and everything, but you ain't really, you worry about your shit, especially back then when you trying to get the deal and you trying to come up. It's major competitive. Hip-hop is, you know, Atlanta really brought in that friendly hip-hop shit. Everybody's cool and kumbaya. Really before that, man, hip-hop niggas just didn't get along because it's like, yo, because we're doper. And it's been like that from the fucking beginning. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. And you know, I understood the concept of what Dave was doing. I respected it for that because it's Dave. But I was so heavy in the streets.